Thank you. I love this. There's a few jobs you can do where you get a thank you and applause even before you do the work. Thank you. I want to talk about building strong brands. I have a long history to do that. I think if you're an entrepreneur, or if you are working for a large company, or if you just want to build your personal brand, you got to think about building a strong brand for yourself, for your company, for anything. I think that the way we have built the brands for the last 20-some years is dead. It is over. It is geriatric. We need to find some new ways of building brands, and I propose that new model today. I want to go through a few examples and share with you my thoughts. Back then, 20 years ago, Harley Davidson had not a very good bike. In fact, every BMW and Yahoo rider would tell you that Harleys were inferior. Even Harley drivers would admit that. But Harley built a brand on emotion, on a personality, and they did a super job. Over the years, Harley is one of the riding success of building a brand on real love, real emotion. I saw this quote in a book that perhaps describes how successful it was. What we sell is the ability for a 43-year-old accountant to dress in black leather, ride through small towns, and have people afraid of them. They did it. Now, when you think about it, the other day I was riding in a taxi in New York, and there's this gigantic billboard. I looked up in this gigantic skyscraper. Here's the billboard. It says, "If you can read this, the bitch fell off." Members wanted, hello. Now, if you are a female rider, you can get that T-shirt on eBay these days. If you can read this, the bastard fell off. But Harley did build a brand with emotion, with love, and really, really was successful with it. But I think that model is broken. I think that model has run its course. I think there are several reasons. Number one, it seems like all brands these days want to be loved. It seems like every brand these days tries the same old trick and tries to be almost like on Match.com. It seems like consumers, we have all in social media, we have all ADD in some forms, and we are inundated with cute babies, talking lizards, a dog that fetches a bottle of beer, excuse me, and all that. And I think that consumers are a bit tired today that everybody tries to tug at these emotional heartstrings, in some ways. On the top of that, in this day and age of social media, it is so easy to post something, to post a cute picture. Or if you're a brand, it is so easy to engage with consumers in some form on Twitter, on Facebook, or whatever, and respond. Oftentimes with not so great successes. And I think it's so hard to resist just because you can. And when I think about today's brand building, we should be reminded to what this said, Scott Burberry said, a colleague of mine, who is a brand strategist, who says, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Now, mind you, this is not Scott Burberry. What I would like to do is I would like to show you my research. I have done 3 or 4 years of massive research. It sounds so British. And you can see this online, those 4 studies. But I'd like to leave you with one major thought and then a few examples to explicate my model, my new model of building a strong brand. And that's very simple. And that is that major finding of all this research is that love is not enough. Now, even the Beatles had it wrong. Remember that? They used to say, all you need is love. Da, 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 da. So even they were wrong. What's interesting? When you think about it, you may like her or not, but Margaret Thatcher in 1989, she sort of got the point about building brands. She got some real smart saying. Here's what she said. If you just set out to be liked, you would be prepared to compromise for anything, wouldn't you? At any time. and you would achieve nothing. And so it is with brand building. If you just try to be liked, if you just try to be a loved brand, you will achieve nothing because you fall for everything. So when it comes to branding, the objective should not be to create love brands. The objective should be fundamentally to improve people's life. It's so simple. You should solve something really fundamental. You should enable people to do certain things. You should deliver value. You should help manage their lives. You should fit into their lives. You should give people's time back. That is what I call branding today. I call this not branding a love, it is building brands of substance. In today's digital and social world, we are for the first time in the position to realize these kind of objectives for clients, for consumers, and people in general. This is what I call create love brands. 3 examples, very quickly. One example, Burberry. This is the old way of building brands. This is the classic way. Look at it. Fully dressed in black and a hot beach, sunny. I see a lot of love here. And they built a brand, and we know with all respect, that was good brand building. But that was then, and this is now. Here's what Burberry does now to build a brand. Before the models walk down a fashion walk, they make a video and a picture of the model behind in rehearsal before they actually walk on the fashion walk. And they post those videos and those pictures on YouTube or on Twitter, and then allow more than 15 million fans of Burberry to see a fashion show in London or Paris even before Karl Lagerfeld or Dieter von Teese in the front row can make their opinions. Isn't that cool? Imagine you being first in before even those have a chance to opine. You can be sort of, in a way, a bit an Anna Wintour. Before she can write for Vogue, you can sort of opine. You can talk about it. You can feedback to Burberry what you like about the fashion. You can actually send a note to your friends. You can become a fashionista, if you will. Isn't that beautiful? This is what I mean by enabling consumers, by connecting with consumers through social currency. Oh, in the latest version, this is even better. Last year, they started to introduce something called Runway to Reality. What that allows you to do is to actually shop for that $1,000 leather jacket or $1,000 dress instantly off the video. And within 2 weeks, you get that dress or that jacket into your home. No need to visit a store. Isn't that amazing? You know what that is? That is brand building with substance. And you know what? It's a new business model. And you know what? It is actually brand building that pays you cash money before you have to produce the jacket. Isn't that a great thing? That's what I mean brand building. That's how we can build brand building through social currency. Oh, I have to talk, with my accent, I have to talk about the ultimate driving machine. Would I not? Look at it. This is how they build that thing that we want. I'm in love when I see this. I'm in love with that car. I'm in love with that gate. I'm in love with that palace behind it. My wife is not listening. I'm in love with a woman in the car. I'm just totally sold. And that's how you build a driving machine. And BMW has written the book on brand building in the business of automotive. But this is then, this is now. BMW is now launching this year, this is not out yet, is launching a new car, the electric i3, with a totally new set of services that is changing the way we think about car mobility. In fact, think Facebook, YouTube, Airbnb, Tumblr. Think all of those services, Foursquare, all together now offered by BMW. You know what they had to do? in order to actually accomplish this within a gigantic company like that, they had to change the entire mission statement of the company. It used to be, we deliver we are the world-leading provider of premium products and cars, and now on motorcycles, of course. And now they say, we are the premiums, we deliver premium services for individual mobility. That is what I mean when we talk about improving people's lives. We don't need another car. We need to solve some major mobility problems. Down here in the bottom, some example of those services they are launching. Think about this. You know, there is a social network of individual parking garages. Just like Airbnb has your apartment online somehow, just the same way, there is an individual parking garage. You live in Munich, and you have to have a need for a parking space. You can park for an hour or two for a dime or euro or whatever in a friend's parking lot, in somebody that you don't know. It's using empty parking spots of other people. That, I think, is real value. That's substance. You know what the problem is with electric cars. You can't drive distances. That's no good in Munich. You know, within the city, yes. But Munich is sort of a special place. It's close to, on the way to the home country of our next speaker, Simone. It's close to Italy. It's close to Milan. It is Friday afternoon. You're tired of working. You want to have a romantic weekend in Italy? Well, thanks to BMW, that's possible. Drive up to BMW, swap it for a gasoline-powered car, and off you go on a romantic weekend in Milan, for that matter. I like that. Now, think about it. If you have a problem with the money to pay yourself for a BMW, no problem. You know Zipcar. It's now part of BMW. You can actually buy a car by the minute and use or pay only for usage. That's what I call that value. You know, we enable consumers to do things. We are embracing the social and digital revolution. That's what I call social currency. That's how you build brands. I have to talk about Nike. Nike is important because Nike has built, you know, has written the book on brand building. You know the 4-letter words that John McEnroe swears on. You know, Nike is the brand that has built a brand on making athletes look bigger than life, as legends, as people that we worship. And if we just buy those shoes, we can jump like Michael Jordan or kick like Wayne Rooney. Who doesn't like Wayne Rooney? Well, maybe Manchester City fans. But other than that, we all like this ultimate striker here from this country. But that's how they used to build the brand. And that model is changing at Nike and at every one of the major brands. Here's the example. I have it right here, underneath my jacket, right there. It's called a fuel band. The fuel band isn't a shoe that helps you to jump faster. It's a way to monitor 24/7 any physical activities. Even this one is right now moving this segment, whatever I go run like this, gives me fuel points. I compete on fuel points. Any activities I do 24/7 is measured on fuel points. And what I can do is I can spend spend some time with friends. I can compete with other people around the world. I never see and can say, look, what's your score on the day? Actually, in New York, in our office, we have everybody have a fuel band these days. And we have sort of little fun with it. For example, the other day, I was sort of checking every morning with a consultant. Her name is Julie. I was checking her numbers. And every morning, before we even start the office, she had higher fuel points than me. So I go like, Julie, it's not possible. What do you do in the morning to always beat me on these fuel points? She goes like, Erich, it's very simple. See, ever since I have the fuel band, I get off the subway one stop early, and I take the rest of the walk to the office, and that's how I get a better fuel points. See? That I like. This is not communicating to consumers one way. This is about changing the behaviors of consumers, really in a positive way. Doing a little extra every day. Nothing fancy. I don't want to be a Wayne Rooney if I could. And that's how you build brands. You connect with people. I wear this 24/7. I just promote it right now. I have conversations about it. I write articles and books about it. I spend time. I'm a professional advertisement for the company for some ways, you know. So that's what you want to do. You want to engage people in this kind of brand building. Now, here's the thing. And that was my major point. You know, when it comes to brand building, love is not enough. It should not be your objective. Because when you think of love and being liked, then you fall for everything. As Margie Thatcher said, you know, when it comes to love, and when it comes to building strong brand, what you have to do is, in this day and age, with all those tools we have available, digital, mobile, social, is to think about how we create really brands of substance. And you know, and when we do create brands of substance, we actually may end with love. Thank you.